Eddie Adams, a notorious bandit of the early 1920s, was born as W.J. Wallace in 1887 near Hutchinson, Kansas. Leading a gang that spread terror across Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa, they became infamous for a series of audacious bank and train robberies. By the time he reached the age of 33, with the onset of Prohibition, Adams had gained notoriety throughout the Midwest, but time was running out for him. On September 5, 1920, Adams, in collaboration with outlaw brothers Ray and Walter Majors, attempted to rob Harry Trustle's illicit casino on Grand Avenue in Kansas City, Missouri. The ensuing gunfight resulted in the death of gambler Frank Gardner, leading to the capture of Adams and the Majors brothers by the police. Adams was identified as the triggerman in Gardner's killing, leading to his murder conviction in February 1921 and a life sentence. Meanwhile, his accomplices were charged with the lesser offense of simple robbery and sentenced to 5 years each. Vowing not to spend the rest of his life behind bars, Adams managed to escape from a train while en route to the Missouri State Prison in Jefferson City. A few days later, on February 11, 1921, he teamed up with accomplice Julius Finney to rob a bank and store in Cullison, Kansas. However, both men were captured by a posse 6 days later near Garden Plains. Adams was convicted of bank robbery and received a sentence of 10 to 30 years at the Kansas State Prison in Lansing, which was to be served before his life sentence in Missouri. On August 13, 1921, Eddie Adams executed a daring escape from the Lansing prison by sabotaging the power plant. Under the cover of darkness, he and fellow inmates Frank Foster, George Weisberger, and D.C. Brown scaled a prison wall. While Brown was swiftly recaptured, Adams, Foster, and Weisberger managed to elude capture and went on to become the core of a new Adams gang. They were soon joined by the up-and-coming outlaw, Billy Fintelman. The gang wasted no time as September 1921 became a busy month for them. In Wichita, Adams murdered patrolman A.L. Young, and then, together with his gang, proceeded to rob banks in Rose Hill and Hayesville, Kansas, netting around $10,000. During the Hayesville robbery, Adams viciously attacked an elderly customer, 82-year-old James Creeville, leaving him mortally wounded with a fractured skull. On October 8th, the gang fought their way out of a police trap near Anole, Kansas, injuring Deputy Benjamin Fisher in a shootout. Just 11 days later, after robbing a bank in Osceola, Iowa, and making off with $500 in silver, Adams and his crew engaged in a deadly confrontation with a posse near Murray, resulting in the death of one C.W. Jones. They made their escape in a car stolen from Sheriff E.J. West. As they sped towards Wichita on October 20th, stealing and abandoning a series of cars along the way, the gang embarked on a spree, robbing a record-breaking 11 stores in Muskota, Kansas. They then abducted and robbed 2 motorcycle officers near Wichita before setting fire to their bikes. On November 5, 1921, the Adams gang pulled off their biggest heist to date, stopping a Santa Fe Express train near Ottawa, Kansas, and making off with a staggering $35,000 in cash. Their celebration in Wichita on November 20th turned deadly when, while joyriding with prostitutes, the gang was pulled over by police for a traffic violation. In the ensuing confrontation, Frank Foster shot and killed patrolman Robert Fitzpatrick. The gang fled southeastward into Cowley County, where Adams murdered farmer George Oldham while stealing his car. 2 days later, back in Wichita, Adams was tracked down to a local garage and cornered by the police. Opting for a shootout, he killed Detective Charles Hoffman before being gunned down by a hail of police gunfire. In accordance with the prevailing tradition of the time, Adams's remains were presented to the public at the city undertaking parlor, drawing the attention of over 9,000 spectators. Over the course of his 14-month criminal rampage, Adam claimed the lives of 7 individuals, among them 3 Wichita police officers, and inflicted injuries upon a dozen others. If you would like to hear more true crime stories like this one, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.